Sableye has always been my favorite Pokemon, so I hosted a 1v1 tournament where competitors could only use Sableye. The tournament was enjoyed by all who watched and participated, and the overall vibe was lighthearted and casual. In this video, I'm going to review the sets that were used in the tournament and the games that were played. At the end, I'll give a breakdown of the most common sets, moves, abilities, etc. because it'll be interesting to see what people plan to face versus what they actually fought against. The tournament was played on Pokemon Showdown, and players could prepare any number of Sableye sets for the tournament and swap them out in between games as they saw fit. Some players crafted 5+ sets, while some, like myself, just stuck with 2. There were 6 players in total, and the games were played in a round-robin format. The skill level of the tournament was pretty widely distributed. Some players hadn't used Showdown before, while others were familiar with the site and ladder on it. Normally this would be a concern, but because I presented this as a fun afternoon activity with no meaningful competitive mindset, the atmosphere was casual and new players felt relaxed. A piece of feedback that was received from a new player was that they loved the experience and hoped to do it again. Going into the tournament, I prepared for what I thought would be the 4 most common sets. The first being Choice Band Offense, which when using Poltergeist and Knockoff can one-hit KO all uninvested sets. The second being Choice Specs Offense, which with Dazzling Gleam can also OKO all uninvested sets. God, lots of one-hits. The third set was a Calm Mind Recover set, also using Dazzling Gleam. And the last set acted as a catch-all to those previous 3, which was Mixed Imprison, which would just be Imprison plus 3 moves, most likely Poltergeist, Knockoff, and Dazzling Gleam. I expected the tournament to be very offensively focused, and Sableye's greatest strength, Prankster, would not be as strong as it normally is. If we want to inflict status with Will-O-Wisp or Toxic, we couldn't use Prankster. No Prankster means no priority healing or subbing, which is a liability against fast offensive sets. Hi, it's me versus Zato Krabby. Imprison completely locks out Hi, It's Me's offensive options and just left it to recover, protect, and calm mind. This match highlights why it's important to carry multiple offensive options and why Dazzling Gleam, despite being Sableye's best offensive special move, is a liability. Chesby Grady versus Mriduel. Chesby Grady Sableye was heavily favored here. Mriduel is running a very defensive-focused Sableye set, which we see become more optimized as the tournament continues, but in this fight, Mriduel is fully invested in HP and special defense, and Ches is fully invested in HP and attack. The full HP investment from Ches versus the 8 special attack investment from Mriduel means that Dazzling Gleam will never 2-hit KO, and Ches will be able to 3-hit KO, closing off with Sucker Punch. Chesby Grady versus Zato Krabby. Here we have what looks like Fast Band Sableye from Zato and a bulky mix set from Ches. The opening move from Zato is a plus 252 attack Poltergeist. Defensively uninvested Sableyes are guaranteed to faint to this move, but luckily for Ches, he's rocking some HP investments, which lets him live. Ches is able to hit the Expert Belt boosted Dazzling Gleam for 60% and close it out with a Sucker Punch, which Zato cannot play around being locked into an attacking move. Chesby Grady versus Hi, It's Me. I was so hyped for this match. This match was insane. It's Hi, It's Me's first time playing on Showdown, and they brought the absolute heat with this set. Unfortunately, the plan came to fruition a little too late. Trick plus Imprison was almost able to seal the game, but unfortunately Struggle's damage was able to take out Hi, It's Me Sableye before they could KO Ches. The idea for the setup was good, it was unfortunately matched against a Sableye that was just very offensively focused. Me versus Mriduel. This game was heavily favored towards me. Mriduel brought their Assault Vest, and I was able to boost over it with Calm Mind and heal up with Moonlight. Is here we see how weak Dazzling Gleam can be when it's not fully invested in. Mriduel switches tactic after I boost my special defense a lot to Foul Play, but it's not able to out-damage the healing from Moonlight, so I'm able to just overrun the Assault Vest boosted Sableye fairly quickly. Tournament 1 ended with a tie between me and Ches. We opted for a best of 3 tiebreaker, which went as follows. Ches chose to scout out turn 1, which is lucky for me as I'm able to set up 1 Calm Mind. I'm able to get another one set up for a free KO with the Shadow Ball. This time I chose to scout. Ches reveals Dark Pulse, and we trade blows on the next round and scout again after that. Ches goes for Sucker Punch, but because of my defensive investments and Sucker Punch not being boosted by Expert Belt, I'm able to live and get the KO. So I win my own tournament, and that's kind of cringe. Everybody's having a pretty good time, so we decided to run it again. Tournament 2 saw an uptick in all-in offensive sets, and a very interesting tactic to combat this. Knockoff usage increased, Poltergeist usage decreased in favor of Knockoff, and we saw a very interesting mixed offensive set with HP and defense investments paired with an Assault Vest, which acted as a very balanced approach to Sableye's many manifestations. Let's highlight some games from Tournament 2. Me versus Hi, It's Me. This one was rough. Seeing how I was going up against Hi, It's Me, I brought a fast Imprison Pokemon to try and imprison their Imprison, but I actually got frozen with Ice Punch and subsequently KO'd. Big Serene Grace energy, GG Hi, It's Me for using Elemental Punches. Had to happen to somebody, and I'm glad it's me. Boom, 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 boom. Ice punch? Oh shit! No way! No! No! You got me! Got me with the freeze! Sheesh! Good game, good game. Bugsy versus Zato Krabby. This was straight up impressive meta-analysis from Zato Krabby. They were able to figure out how to counter most imprisoned and physical sets with the Sableye. Running fully invested and boosted speed to get Imprison off fast, my Recover, Dazzling Gleam, and Imprison were locked. My only attack that remained was Poltergeist, which was useless because the opposing Sableye did not have an item. I was left to flounder and wait for the inevitable. Huge GG to Zato for being able to read me like a book. You completely locked me out! No! Oh shit! Counters! Oh fuck! Honestly, impressive. Impressive. Really impressive. I love it. Chesby Greddy versus Meriduel. This was a very interesting game with two sets that I very much enjoyed. Ches read the meta very well and packed Will-O-Wisp and Hex to hit big damage and stop physical sets. Even brought Encore, which definitely paid off against Meriduel, which locked him into Sucker Punch. If Ches brought Recover, this would have been a golden opportunity to ensure that he lives through Sucker Punch, but it wasn't needed as it only did 20%. Tournament 2 ended with a clear victor this time. Ches was able to top the tournament not once, but twice. I asked everybody to send me the sets they used afterwards so I can compile them into a list and evaluate what was the best set of the tournament. Not everybody sent me their sets, which sucks, but from the data I got this. So real quick before I jump into the data, I was given 17 sets to work with, so we're going to be looking at the stats from these 17 sets. Popularity of ability. Keen Eye was favored over Prankster, which was very interesting, expecting to see a lot more Calm Mind or Nasty Plot sets that use Prankster to boost their priority, so this was very surprising. Occurrence of Nature by name. Surprisingly, Brave and Modest were the most used natures. Brave, I don't know why, over Adamant, but that's just how the cookies crumbled. It kind of figures that the most used natures in the game would be the ones boosting the attack and special attacks, so there's not really much surprise there. But if we look at it from a different perspective, we can kind of see something else. When we group natures by stat boost, we see that attack has the largest following, followed by the special stats, both attack and defense. Speed has a small showing, and defense boosting natures were nowhere to be seen. Defense not being used, especially with the deadliest moves being Poltergeist and Knockoff, is very surprising. I suspect this is because people were over-prepared for Calm Mind Dazzling Gleam sets and completely ignored physical offense. Speed boosting natures were seen exclusively on fast Imprison sets, which had mixed results. The Imprison sets typically included Poltergeist, Dazzling Gleam, and Recover. Had they replaced Recover with Knockoff, I assume they would have been a little bit more successful. Obviously, Knockoff plus Poltergeist is a non-bow, but Knockoff plus Dazzling Gleam would be able to 2-hit KO all sets with no bulk. Speaking of bulk, the data shows a diverse amount of spreads used. Because of the variety, it makes sense to look at some of the more common investments. HP being the largest makes sense, since full/close to full lets Sableye live Poltergeist 90% of the time. What's most surprising is seeing minimal special attack investment being used the same amount as full special attack investment. It looks like the 8 special attack points make an appearance on mixed sets, like for using Dazzling Gleam, but also Calm Mind set with full HP and special defense investments. Occurrence of moves. Dazzling Gleam was by far the most popular move. Specs, Calm Mind, and mixed offense Sableyes were able to use Dazzling Gleam well. A little too well. Dazzling Gleam appears on all Imprison sets, which makes sense, it's the only move that Sableye can use super effectively. Sucker Punch and Recover we saw was incredibly powerful and great at closing out games. Recover usage being high was expected as it's one of Calm Mind Sableye's greatest tools. Knockoff being so low I attribute to not being well known in the first tournament and picking up popularity in the second tournament. Imprison is obviously my favorite move of the tournament. The ability to lock out an opponent is so within Sableye's identity, and I'm personally extremely happy to be on the receiving end of a well-crafted Imprison team. Imprison also forced innovation. Subbing Moonlight for Recover and Shadow Ball/Dark Balls over Dazzling Gleam meant that T1 Imprison would be punished by a lesser used move. The tournament as a whole was enjoyed by all who participated. Spectators had a fun time commentating, inquiring about Sableye sets, and learning from the battles being fought. Sableye was a great pick for the 1v1 tournament as it was a Pokemon that had a surprising amount of depth and constraint from a building perspective. Also, because it was my first time running a tournament, having a small player pool made the thing a lot less stressful, so that was very nice. Since it was my first time organizing a tournament, there were some hiccups that happened the day of. Luckily, I was able to get some help, which made the whole thing a lot smoother. Some might argue that not implementing a ban list for items or moves such as choice band, choice specs, etc. was an oversight, but I think that without a ban list, it was a good idea because now we have a precedent for the rule set the next time a Sableye 1v1 tournament is ran. Thank you all for watching. I had a great time running this. I hope that I can get more participants for the next time it's run. I'm going to be putting up a poll so we can vote on the Pokemon that we do the 1v1 tournament for, so if you're interested in this, join the Discord. It's in the description in the bio. Yeah, I'll see you later. Thank you so much.